Hi, it's Lady Cedar here. This week I'll be showing you how to make a circle skirt with pockets. You could wear it with a shirt for work, dress it up with a petticoat when you're feeling fancy. You could put on some jumper and tights to take you into autumn and winter, or you could just wear it with a t-shirt and some sneakers for when you want to be ignored by your cat. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys are ready. Here we go. So you're going to need your fabric. I've chose this gorgeous blue one, fabric scissors, a zip about 20 centimeters, some paper for your pattern, pins, lots of pins, a thread in a similar colour to your fabric, a thread in a contrasting colour for tacking. You'll need a measuring tape for measurements, a pen or pencil and an iron, and also a sewing machine. So the first thing I'm going to do is my pattern. I'll put a link in the description for the site I used. So the first thing I'm marking out is my waist, which I got from the website, and then I added a centimetre on, which is that dotted line. That will be your seam allowance. To do the length of the skirt, what I actually did was pin down my tape measure so I could swivel it back and forth like that. Did my marks all the way along and then joined up, cut it out and laid it on my fabric. So I made sure my fabric was nice and flat. I put one of the edges on a fold. You're going to want to do this 2 times, but on the second one you're actually going to cut at the fold rather than keep it as one big thing. For the pocket, I just traced around my hand. As long as it fits your hands in, it doesn't really matter. However, you do want a right hand corner on one of the edges. You need to cut that out 4 times because you need 4 pocket pieces. For your waistband, you need it double the width that you want it, plus 2 centimeters, and your waist measurement, which you should have done earlier, plus 5 centimeters or 2 inches. So these are the pieces that you should have: 1 semicircle, 2 quarter circles, your 4 pocket pieces down here, and your waistband, which is your waist plus 5 centimeters. So first you need to attach the pockets. You're going to line it up with the top edges of the skirt and pin it in place so that when you open it up, it should look a little something like this. On the other quarter circle, make sure you pin it on the opposite side. And on your semicircle, they just need to go at either end of the little semicircle for your waist. And then they need to be sewed down. Just a straight stitch on the machine. I like to do a bit of reinforcing at the top and bottom just so they don't snag. And when they're all sewn securely in place, you're going to pin them together as I'm showing. So from the top curve of the pocket all the way down to the bottom edge of the skirt. When you've done this and you're happy with it, back you go on the sewing machine and make sure that they're all firmly sewn down. Pin together the remaining open edge, and this is going to be a 2 centimeter seam allowance. And with your zip, you want to mark the bottom edge where it's going to be shut. An optional extra is to have your cat wash itself loudly while you're there, but non-essential. So here I am sewing with the basting stitch. Once I get to that line, I switch to the normal stitch length and carry on till the bottom of the skirt. I iron that seam open so it's nice and flat, lay my zip down and pin it in place. Now you could sew it like this, but I struggle with the pins, I don't like them, so what I like to do instead is to tack the zip in place, and that's where our contrasting coloured thread and our sewing needle comes from. So the tacks actually take the place of the pins to keep it in place. And now you're going to go back on the sewing machine and sew where you've tacked essentially. Making sure that you are clean on the corners. I like to go over the bottom a few times, back and forth, just so that's nice and secure. And back we go to the home stretch. You can now remove your tacks, and it's good because they're easy to see, because they're in a contrasting thread, And once they have been removed, you can use your seam ripper to remove those basting stitches that you did at the start. And after you remove all of them, your zip is free. Freedom, yay! Onto your waistband now. You're going to fold it in half lengthways and press it flat so you get a nice fold in the middle. And then at each long edge, you're going to fold it in about 1 centimetre and press that flat again. This is going to form like the inside edge of your hem to keep it nice and neat. So you're going to do that along all of the sides. Nice and flat, so that when it's finished you'll have something that looks a little bit like this. Turn that inside out so that the flaps are facing outwards. You are just going to sew the edges shut. Turn them the right way around, and these are going to form the edges of your waistband. Before we attach it, we need to sort out the pockets. So you're going to take your pockets and hold that up to the front edge of your skirt and pin them in place. If you don't do this, they're just going to flap about inside, whereas these get caught up in the waistband now, and that's going to keep them in place. So I'll show you again. You take the 2 pocket halves that they're open at the top, pin them to the front panel of your skirt, so this should look something like this. Now you're going to take your waistband and put one edge of it inside the top of your skirt about 1 centimetre down and pin it in place. It's really important that you make sure all the layers of fabric with the folds are pinned down because you want to be sewing them. And you're just going to go around the entire length of the waistband of your skirt, making sure that the pockets are nice and inside there as well. Now you should notice a bit of a overhang at one end. This is absolutely correct. This is what you need. This is where we're going to do like a little fastening, and now you sew. You want to get as close to that bottom edge as possible to make sure that all your folds are in nice and neat, and when you're done on that overhanging flappy edge bit, I'm sure it has a technical name, I just added a hook and die to keep it in place and make it a little bit neater. Ta-da! And apologies for this next part, it is going to take a while. Final stages now, we're going to do the bottom hem. On the bottom edge, I sewed 1 centimetre away from the raw edge all the way around, and that's just going to help me as a guide for when we're folding, because otherwise it would just take forever, and this is the way I found of it being easier for me. You might have your own way, and you are absolutely free to do that. But once you've got that line sewn, you're going to fold it once, and because we want to hide those raw edges, we're going to fold it again. And then just pin it in place. Now, because it's a curved edge, a curved hem, you really want to be doing as many pins as possible. So many pins, in fact, that I actually ran out of one set and had to go get some more. And I got tired halfway through and had to go get a cup of tea and some biscuits, which again are not essential, but I do recommend. So it will take a while to do this, and you're welcome to stick on a podcast, your favourite music, maybe contemplate your place in the universe, wondered why you ever started this. But eventually you will finish, and all you're going to do is put back on the sewing machine and sew for about 3 years until you get all the way around the bottom of your skirt and it is hemmed. And all you need to do after that is press it, make it nice and flat, and there you go. You have a circle skirt. You can pose with it in the garden, you can do some fancy twirling. I really had a lot of fun making it. I love the way it looks. I love that it has pockets. Everything needs more pockets. I'm actually doing a challenge at the moment where I'm going to try and make my entire back to school wardrobe. So for the whole month of September, my plan is to wear only things that I've made, and this skirt is one of those pieces. So hit the like and subscribe, hit the bell if you want to see how that disaster turns out. Thank you as always for watching, I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you learned something, I hope you're going to try it. Let me know if you do. But that's it from me for now. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.